Let's listen in on the most interesting part of the fiscal year 2022 second quarter earnings call from BlackBerry. Now, this company is formerly known for their cell phones used by investment bankers and management consultants alike, with a nice keyboard for typing emails. However, in today's market, retail traders are focusing in on the reinvention of the company, and a lot of talk in this area is regarding their cybersecurity products. This is one of the reasons it's become a favorite among retail investors. So I figured, let's listen in on the part about cybersecurity in the earnings conference call. All right, let's get right into it.
Now let me turn to cybersecurity. This quarter, the business unit delivered strong sequential billings and revenue growth. Revenue was $120 million. Gross margin came in at 59%. ARR was $364 million. Dollar-based net retention was 95%. As we mentioned earlier, John Giammatteo will be joining BlackBerry to lead the cybersecurity business unit, taking over from Tom Eacobacci, who was the acting general manager. John brings with him many years of cybersecurity industry experience. During his 6 years as president and chief revenue officer at McAfee, he delivered both double-digit growth and margin expansion for the enterprise, the SMB, as well as the consumer divisions. John will build on the progress that has been made in recent quarters with the cybersecurity business unit go-to-market engine, and will also direct both product development and business unit strategy. Tom Eacobacci has decided to pursue other opportunities and will leave BlackBerry at the end of October. The addition of John to the team completes the split of the software and services business into two market-focused business units. Both IoT and cybers are targeted with driving growth and with it shareholder value. The two business units will report directly to me. As mentioned, this was a good quarter. While there's still work for the team to do, there's a few outstanding areas that I feel that I'd like to share with you about. This quarter, we saw further growth in pipeline for our cybersecurity product, especially for the new local customers. Pipeline grew strongly for BlackBerry Gateway, our Zero Trust Network Access product launched last quarter. To help realize this increased pipeline, investment in our direct sales force, in particular the hiring of quota-carrying sales head, continues. We're also making further progress with the channel, as illustrated by a 32% sequential growth in the channel billings this quarter. New partner program has also helped significantly increase both channel-driven pipeline generation and the new local billings, mainly in the North America arena. We also have seen robust growth in business through managed security service providers, or MSSP. You may recall that during the Q2 earnings call a year ago, we targeted using MSSP, to quickly scale our guarded managed service offering. Today, one of these partners, I'm happy to report, managed more than 100,000 endpoints using BlackBerry Cyber's products. I'd like to take a closer look at some wins from the quarter that demonstrate why customers are choosing BlackBerry for their cybersecurity needs. The first customer is one of the top 10 automakers in the world. This customer selected our Protect EPP and Optics EDR solution following a competitive bake-off in which we went head-to-head with CrowdStrike and Carbon Black. The customer selected BlackBerry due to our near 100% malware detection rate, our lightweight engine, and flexible deployment options, both in the cloud as well as a standalone factory network. The second is a Fortune 100 financial services company. BlackBerry displays Microsoft Defender with Protect and Optics. The company selects us particularly for our performance on Mac OS. The third is where we have continued success within the Australian state government agencies. This quarter, we sold Protect, Optics, and our Threat Zero consulting services into a number of agencies, displacing predominantly legacy incumbents that included Trend Micro and Symantec. The customer chose BlackBerry for our next generation prevention first technology. On the industry recognition front, SE Lab, a leading independent research firm based in London, has performed a rigorous set of tests on our EPP and EDR products, Protect and Optics. This breach test differs from their quarterly endpoint tests. Rather than simply loading known malware onto an endpoint, which typically masks the inability of traditional signature-based vendors to prevent zero-day threats, the breach test includes, instead, applies real-time, real-world hacking tactics. They apply comprehensive techniques to evade our defense and concluded that Protect and Optics provide complete prevention, complete detection, as well as zero false positives. A link to the full report could be found on our investor relations webpage. This third-party validation of our product, not just our EPP, but also our EDR, demonstrate how we have successfully closed the product gap to competitors with recent product launches. The market is now recognizing some of the unique differentiated abilities of our cyber products, one of which is the maturity of our AI engine. As in the previous quarters, we're seeing new malware and ransomware hitting the headline on an almost daily basis. Our AI engine, the most mature in the industry, continues to provide zero-day prevention against a host of these threats. In the quarter, our product successfully blocked new profile ransomware such as Hive, Lockbit, Ragnar Locker, and many more before they could do any damages. BlackBerry Cylance AI engine is firmly focused on preventing our customer from being breached, whereas some of the leading competitors instead focus on showing customer all the different ways that the system could be accessed. On the UEM front, we are continuing to invest in our roadmap, delivering enhancements that add most value to customers. We recently announced that enterprise can now benefit from BlackBerry leading security while enjoying a seamless and native user experience with Microsoft 365 productivity apps. This is enabled by additional integration between BlackBerry UEM and Microsoft 365, primarily through the Azure Active Directory conditional access. This is part of the latest version of the UEM U-Series, which was released earlier this month, that is. U-Series also provides zero-day support for Android 12 and iOS 15. This past quarter, we secured important UEM renewals with government agencies such as IRS, the Department of Homeland Security, the U.S. Marine Corps, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, the UK Ministry of Defense, the United States Air Force, as well as leading enterprise such as General Dynamics and Magna. We also won a number of new logos such as the French National Institute for Criminal Research and the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange. With continued growth in pipeline, coupled with investment in direct and channel sales, the outlook of the cybersecurity business unit is for sequential building growth for the remaining of the fiscal year. This is expected to lead to modest sequential revenue growth due to the subscription model. The full year outlook remains as before at the lower end of $495 to $515 million range. Turning now to licensing.
Alright, that was it for the cybersecurity part, and just some of my comments on this real quickly, because this was by far the longest part of the presentation, and a lot of terms were thrown around. They talked about zero trust network. This basically means that if an attacker enters the data center or cloud part of the IT stack, then in order to gain access to a different part in this network, they need to hack again, because the different parts in the network don't trust each other. So if you get a breach and you come in, then you really can't go anywhere further without hacking again. So this zero trust is a term that you will hear from the buy side of cybersecurity procurement. And they talked a bit about endpoint security as well. This is your computers, your that part, and not the network part. So they have some different solutions for different parts here. They talked about the sales strategy as well, with channel pipe and managed services. So they have companies selling their solutions, and they also mentioned some OEM there. And one interesting part I found, which I think can be used beneficially in their sales strategy, was this third party validation report. Now, this is gold for salespeople. This is something that you can share with the clients, the IT managers, the buy side, to sort of make your confidence in the product go over to the customer as well, so that they feel confident. Having these types of reports, if it's a good one to share as a use case, is very nice as a salesperson. And regarding the use cases where they won, they had one against CrowdStrike and one against Microsoft Defenders. I just wanted to make a quick comment on that as well. All right, so a win over CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike in the cybersecurity sector is known as the cheap option, the one that just manages to give you the certified requirements that you need to have by law, and a lot of companies will buy this because it's cheap. So they can compete in price maybe, or they compete by having certain features that the company finds attractive, and then they choose those over the lower price. And they also had a win against Microsoft Defender. Now, they mentioned the use case here that it was for Macs, so endpoint security on Mac computers. Quite understandably that they could displace Microsoft in that aspect, so that was not particularly impressive to me. However, I also really liked the comments about roadmap, future roadmap of the cybersecurity products, because this is something that architects at different companies that are in charge of cybersecurity will ask about. They will ask, oh, how's the roadmap looking for X product? Just to feel secure that this is something that's continued to be developed by the company, and it's not something that will go end of life when they buy this. So roadmap secured, and a good third party sort of use case that can be shared with customers. All these things are positive for pipeline generation, and this is just my opinion as a salesperson myself. Very interesting to listen in on, and for those retail traders that are trading those risky options, stay safe out there, and I hope you make a lot of money trading, friends. Take care. Bye bye.